Okay folks, this will be an interesting one. Let's see if we can make it look any good. I'm going at 400. Okay, let's see what this is. It's one of those things called a snake cube, sort of like you sort of twist it, like you can twist it to go like that. I won't go twisting it too much, that's why I'm not twisting it, just want to put it on the glass, make something interesting out of it. So it's a snake cube. Well, that's what they called them when I was a kid, when I had one of these, or a couple of these. They were very popular in the early 80s and they've just been a resurgence. I don't know if they're popular now, but I saw another one in the op shop as well. I think I might have to pull that one up and just push that back. But basically, yeah, these were popular in my childhood when I was growing up here in Sydney. I don't know the timetable of fads too much because I'm not a child. I don't hang out with, and therefore I don't hang out with other children or go to school, so I can only just make educated guesses based on what I see when I go to an op shop or something, or see it in the shops, the general shops. Anyway, that looks interesting, but it's a bit far down and up. We're going to push it up and across. So, but basically, yeah, there's a lot of fads going around, but there's always been anyway. It just seems a common thing that it's all a form of marketeering and profiteering off the backs of children, because apparently fads and stuff are very lucrative. Let's see how we go with this. Yeah, it's still a bit too far. Yeah, that looks interesting, you can see there. I'm just going to move it up and across again. I'm going to move it further up and across, just across to the edge there. See how that looks. We're going to make this anyway into a movement piece. Yeah, that looks a bit like I've pushed it too close to the edge. I'm actually wondering if we're going to make this into a movement, so we're not going to worry too much about the absolute details. So we're just going to switch it here and we're going to just make it into an interesting sort of piece. So we're just going to put that aside. Redonate it. The thing I hate about fads is that people have the ability to get excited over something that's popular because it's popular, and then when everyone else says drop it, it's like you drop it. And I don't understand how that can happen, how people can take it up and then drop it. They have control, a certain amount of control, and yet they can't control the hype when it's popular, but then they have the ability to control the ability to drop it. And they just say drop it, and it's dropped. Because when it's not popular, it's considered daggy, and when it's become daggy, that's it, it's finished. And it's really silly how it's done that way, and it's just, although there are some things that have stood the test of time, such as those little aluminium scooters, those little micro or razor scooters, they still, the fad there is no longer a fad. It's actually still an acceptable pastime, even though, so there are some good things that do come out, because I do like scooters. I do think scooters are fun, but you got to sort of, yeah, they are fun, and it's good to see something still exists after it's been lost. So it's not entirely lost, but it's still a bit silly that people just take things up and then suddenly, when everyone says it, it's dropped. I'm wondering if we're going to make this into a negative image for something a little bit different. Actually, yeah, we're going to use that one. But I just hate the way fads are often something that when it's gone out of fashion, it's finished, it's dropped. Like loom banding. I've seen loom banding stuff around. That's not even good for the planet. Now that looks shit house, the colours in that. I'm going to make it a bit larger as well. I actually think magenta would make a good colour for that. I don't know what to do with this. Going to make this bigger on the vertical. So I think we're going to make it 116. I'm going to give it a background colour. Yeah, that looks interesting. I do think the magenta is a bit wishy-washy, but we got it reasonably well framed. I do think maybe that's a difficult one. This is not looking as good as I was hoping it would. I'm actually thinking it's going to be less than 116. I think we're going to make it 114 to get a little bit pedantic about it. I think we're going to go back to positive mode. I think negative doesn't work in this case. It was worth a try, to say the least. It was worth trying. But we're going to just leave it on positive. Yeah, that looks better. I do like this version better, and I think it's the right size. I don't know if it's going to look any good, but we'll soon find out. We just have to try. My intuition's telling me to run, I think, to run with it. There was a time when even photocopier art was a fad, back in the 70s and even in the 90s. So, but I don't. But the thing is, this is about the drop, the take up and drop attitude that people have with fads. Whereas for me, I took up photocopier art off my own bat. I just got fascinated with photocopiers on my own bat. No one someone did inspire me. People did inspire me to get into photocopiers, but they weren't meaning to. But I basically was interested mostly by myself, even though I had some inspiration as well. But I don't have the attitude of drop it. I want to keep doing it even though it's out of fashion. So I'm still doing it, and I have been doing it on and off since 1986. I've had times when I have dropped it, I must confess, but I've always returned, and I'm trying to make this into something big. And I'm missing a loved one, a lost partner. His name's Luigi. He's also into photocopiers. And I'm trying to get this stuff to go to air on television. This is my talent. And this is not a fad for me. It's a talent. It's something I'll be doing probably till the day I die. But anyway, that looks better than I thought. I think now we can call this demo quits.